So we have Danica. You are a relationship. I want to say, what would you call yourself? Because you're in the realm of like the. Can I compare you to Kevin Samuels? Can I compare
Oh,
you
go
to?
ahead. They
Okay,
already do.
they already do.
They
Okay, turn
already.
her turn her up
I'm
just
the
a little bit on my
CEO.
side, Sade, because I can't hear. It's hard for me to hear a little bit. So they already compare you to Kevin Samuels and who else? No, Tony Gaskins is not so controversial. They definitely don't compare you to Derek Jackson. I mean, his message is total polar
Oh,
opposite.
I have been compared to Derek Jackson in the past.
You have.
Yeah, they said that I pander to men, which I don't feel like I do, but they have compared me to Derek Jackson in the past.
Okay,
So
so
I get the female Kevin Samuels, and then in the past I've got the female Derek Jackson.
okay, so basically, you are a YouTuber, of course. You have over 100,000 followers, hundreds of thousands of views, viral views on your videos. You're also an author, a published author.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And you basically, your channel revolves around you providing relationship advice to men and women. And sometimes it's really harsh.
Do you think it's really harsh?
I don't think so because I ain't looking for no man. I'm good. So. I mean, people would say I'm harsh at what I do, but hey, somebody's got to be honest around here,
I mean, I don't feel like I'm harsh, but I guess. See, the thing is, Tasha, these days, keeping it real is being mean, being harsh. And,
Yeah,
it's just the truth. Like, the truth spares no feelings. It doesn't care who hates it, who loves it. It just is what it is. And so I
that's
just do my best to be honest and transparent. And if it hurts your feelings, then I'm sorry. But, you know,
that's true.
people hurt
That
my
that that is very, very
People hurt
true.
my feelings all the time. You just take it on the chin. They say the truth will hurt your feelings first. Okay. But then once you take it in, you just got to take it in and accept it and learn from it and grow from it, hopefully. But
That
hey,
part, that part. So what got you into? Because I've seen, and this was probably one of my most favorite videos, and of course, it was a lot of people's favorite video because it went viral. Uncomfortable conversations. Women are intimidated by good men.
yep.
And so, what got you into the relationship space?
Honestly, I don't know, Tasha. I've been doing this, I want to say since 2013, 2014. I
Oh,
got my first
wow.
Yeah, I got my first viral videos over on Facebook. Actually,
Okay.
I started off. I started off doing like poetry,
Okay.
spoken word, and a lot of my poetry topics were revolving around relationships and kind of holding women accountable, just giving that balanced perspective because I really felt like that was missing. I feel like a lot of women these days we do pacify and pander to one another. And so I started making content or spoken word based upon that, and that went viral.
Mm-hmm.
It got on World Star and Gossip and all kind of different platforms. And then I just kind of transferred over to the YouTube space back in 2019.
Okay.
So I got started on that. But I started off doing poetry revolving around relationships, and I've just always been like this relationship oriented type of girl, I guess. And so it just felt like it was like my calling, so to speak. Like
Okay.
I was always somebody that was just enthusiastic about relationships, especially black love and bridging the gaps between us to kind of get us on the same accord. So it was just something that just came naturally and organic towards me. And then just speaking your truth, people gravitate towards what they resonate with, and so it just
Okay.
took over on its own.
I was immediately intrigued when I saw you holding women accountable because, me, I am, of course, I don't believe in all of his views, but for the most part, I think Kevin Samuels is dead on. And I don't like to use him as an example, but I haven't seen a woman in your space holding other women accountable, calling them
Yeah.
out on their bullshit. And, I see it every day. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, listen, as long as they don't ask my advice, they'll never know the truth. That's my thing. Like when you start asking my advice, then I'm gonna have to get in your ass a little bit. But at the same time, I feel that a lot of viewers view it as pandering to men
Yeah.
by you holding women accountable. How you feel about that?
I feel like it's an unfair judgment because even in the midst of me holding women accountable, it's not like I'm just completely letting men off the hook. I'm still telling men that, hey, you need to be
Mm-hmm.
positioning yourself to be a provider, be a protector, be a leader, be a teacher. You know what I mean? So I'm still holding men to a standard. It's not like I'm just completely saying, you know what, men do no wrong, and the women just need to get their act together and bow down. I'm actually saying, like, no, while we do as women need to be positioning ourselves or carrying ourselves in a particular manner, men still have to uphold their end of the bargain in order to get that kind of woman to, quote unquote, hold on, Tasha, submit. Okay, y'all know y'all hate that word,
Ooh.
but it's a lot of men out there, just to go there for a second. It's a lot of men out there that are looking for women to submit to them, cater to them, love them, and all of this, be supportive and everything, and then they don't measure up as men. And so I absolutely hold men accountable in their regard, telling them that, hey, you have to be a particular type of man in order to get that from a woman in the first place. So I really don't understand why a lot of women feel like I do pander to men when I do hold them accountable as well. It could be based upon my platform, though. Tasha, my platform is 95% male. And
I was
so,
gonna say, because that was gonna be my next thing. I was like, you do have a male dominated audience,
yeah,
and I feel like, and this is not to over sexualize you. I tell people like this in the creator space and the influencer space all the time. You have to look good in order to succeed. A lot of times in these spaces, okay, and you are a very attractive female, I believe, and
thank
I feel that when you are saying shit that men have always wanted to say, and holding women accountable because you are a woman, it kind of puts you more in I guess a higher position than most women. Make
yeah,
sense?
I can get that. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
And that's something that I've got critiqued about as well, though.
Okay.
Um, because a lot of people say, well, they're only watching you because you got your breasts hanging out, or they're only watching you because you look this particular way, or you're an attractive woman. Otherwise, they wouldn't care.
How
And
are your DMs?
Tasha, let's not even go there. Okay, I'm a married woman, so they really have a problem. They're like, girl, how you married and you dress like that, and how you married and you act like this, and
Who
it's just
says
like
that? And the
every
where's
woman,
a Portia Williams? Who said that? Who said that?
everybody, everybody. That's a common critique. I oftentimes get critiqued about I guess how my sex appeal, and also my tattoos, and my vernacular, the way that I speak, and so I feel like they use that, though, as a means to kind of um attack me because they can't attack the message, right?
Mm.
And so since I can't attack the message, I'll just go for the messenger. I'll just talk about how she dresses. I'll talk about the way that she speaks. I'll talk about her tattoos, whatever
Mm.
they can do to distract from the main point at hand. A lot of women I notice do that, but don't get it twisted, Tasha. Men have done it too.
Yeah.
I had a very popular guy um attack me, he just went off on me. And I felt like it was because, Tasha, because I am in a male dominating space, so to speak. And I didn't try to put myself there, it just happened. And I don't know if you're familiar with the menosphere.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
The men
uh
going that my producer Nicole has really kind of brought me up to speed on a lot of this stuff because I'm not out here single and nor what I want to be because I heard that these streets ain't loyal to nobody these days. So I'm kind of glad that I've kind of exited that 16 years ago. But is it called men going their own way type
um
movement or is that different?
I feel, see, it was something that was even new to me because
Okay.
I didn't know what it was either. They have a manosphere. One that I'm familiar with, though, is called the Black Manosphere. It's pretty much where men come to congregate together to express their concerns or express some of their issues or whatever
Okay.
pertaining to relationships in general. So it's a combination of all of that. They have I think it's called the MGTOW, the Men Go
Yes.
Their Own
The
Way. So
movement.
they're
Yes.
part of it. But they have a combination of different things that men talk about. So they have that element of it to where men are like, you know what, I'm done with women, and you know, we just need to go our own way. And then you have another sector of it to where they are trying to bridge the gaps. They also talk about building finances. So it's just pretty much a space where just men come to just build together, learn from each other, talk about women, talk about money, talk about building and growing and becoming better men, you know, things of that sort. Mm-hmm. And so by default, because a lot of my subscribers were in that space, they gravitated towards me because, again, like you said, you know, you're an attractive woman, you know, talking about some of the things that you're talking about, it's only natural that they, you know, chime in, you know, listen in and watch. And I felt like I was impeding on a lot of other men that were in this quote unquote Black menosphere space. And they were like, hold up. And so I had men actually attack me for that. Cause it's like, she's picking up more speed than we are. You know, this space is supposed to be for men. Why are y'all watching her? Why are y'all going to her? And I felt like I was probably stepping on their toes a little bit. But I had no idea about what a Black menosphere was. And so they just kind of like put me in there based upon my audience. But yeah, I had a lot of men attacking me for that. They were like, why are y'all listening to this B word? She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's a woman. She's a female, you know. And so they were attacking me too. So I was getting pretty much from both men and women coming at me, being in this area that I'm in and speaking on the things that I talk about.
I mean, this whole, and I'm glad you touched on that. Thank you for that. Like, this whole men going their own way thing, and we don't need women. Well, who do you need? That's what I'm trying to figure this out. Like, who do you need?
I want to know, Tasha, where they going?
What they ain't going nowhere because they can't go anywhere unless we breed the seeds. You understand? So they can't go. They think that they can survive. Like, seriously, you think that you can survive or breed a son without having a woman. So I've always wanted to say that. You know, I'm just like, where are you going? You ain't going nowhere. You're going to take your ass in the room and lay it down. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this, Tasha, okay? To be fair, okay? Like, I don't agree with that either. To me, it's a very defeated mindset, in my opinion.
Yeah.
However, I can understand it. You know, Tasha, let's put it like, they're the same way as a lot of these women are out, you know, today.
Yeah.
They are tired of dealing with, you know, the no good dudes. You know, they just want to have sex and leave us. And, you know, they're not trying to commit and get married and stuff like that. And so they can get fed up as well and be like, you know what, I'm just done. You know, I had a lot of females, a lot of women, Tasha, say that they're going to go ahead and start, you know, going the other route. And so they're doing that. And so
going the other route. What do you mean going the other route?
Going the other route, Tasha.
Tricking?
No.
Oh, like to women.
Yes.
Oh, no, because at the end of the day, like, you need dick. I have this conversation all the time. Like, listen, you be a woman all you want, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. Now, I do believe people are born that way, but in some cases, you done had dick your whole life, and all of a sudden, you think you just gonna survive over on the other side, and you used to getting dick, it's not going to work. It ain't gonna work. You're gonna be right back, even worse than you was before, because you're gonna be feeding that shit.
I'm telling you, that's how I feel too, Tasha, okay? But I'm saying it's kind of the same way with the men. So they're tired of dealing with these, you know, women out here that are, you know, using them, taking advantage of them, you know, and so they're like, you know, I'm fed up, they're tired. And so I get it. While I don't agree with either one of it, I can understand it and I can feel it. But if I could tell those brothers, I would have to tell them like, hey, bro, like, I understand you probably had some bad experience in the past, but, you know, you just have to keep, you know,
do you feel?
And then you'll find somebody, hopefully. And if not, it's okay to be by yourself, but don't be like, I'm going my own way. To me, that's a little bit pathetic, in my opinion. But that's
extreme, and you can't live on the extreme side. Like, people like to look at life, I feel, as black and white, and it's not. It's a gray area. That's why racism has not stood up. Because they were trying to put people on either side, but it doesn't work like that. So it's extreme, and like you said, it's a bit childish. But do you feel, and this is no shade to you or anything like this, this is I mean this from the safest space, do you feel that these men are following you because of your message, or do you feel that they're following you because of your looks? Do you feel that they take your message serious? All right, attention vegans, all right? Soon to be vegans, wanna be vegans, future vegans, plant-based vegans, okay? Bodybuilder vegans, whatever you call it, all right? All of us protein, highly protein deficient, okay? Vegans and plant-based eaters. Teamy Blends has finally developed a product that's not only chemical free, okay? That is organic, that is purely non-GMO to help supplement our lack of protein in our bodies. You guys know what we go through. We lack B12 as well as protein, especially if we're not getting or eating a lot of protein in our foods. And we all know as plant-based eaters, as vegans, we typically don't eat as much, so we're not hungry, so we drop weight a lot faster, as well as muscle in our body that's needed to help our bodies to sustain itself, okay? And so what I love about Teamy Blends Wellness Protein, made with organic protein, triple berries, as well as MCT oil from coconuts, which is used to help bodybuilders not build up lactate or whatever you call it in their body. It keeps their body from being mobile, and it keeps their joints from becoming stiff. It also helps with weight loss, a host of other things, okay? We can't find proteins that are this pure on the market, okay? That are soy-free, that are wheat-free, all of those things. This is made with a plant-based organic protein from peas, all right? And so I'm gonna show you how I make it, all right? Because I have to drink these about 3 to 4 times a day because I don't eat a lot of protein and I don't get it a lot from food because I'm typically not hungry. So for those of y'all that are asked how I lose my weight, there you go, okay? But how am I keeping this muscle on? Here it is right here. So I just take 1 scoop, okay? I already have it leveled off so it don't get too messy because it is messy. I got my water. I typically like to add this first so that it will dissolve easier when I put it in, all right? So I'm just gonna add this here. Come on out. All right, I'm gonna put that lid back there. Then I'm gonna add my water, okay? And I got my spatula. Look at that, very rich and red and pink from three super richly antioxidant rich berries, okay? And I'm just gonna stir it just like I'm stirring a yoo-hoo from back in the day if y'all used to drink yoo-hoos or chocolate milk or strawberry milk, but this is all vegan. This ain't no milk here because you know milk is typically bad for your body. And so not only is this particular product, okay, easy to purchase because you're gonna purchase it through me using the coupon code UNWINE. You're gonna get 20% off your first order. And they have a host of other wellness products as well that are vegan, soy-free, gluten-free, all the above, things that don't have a lot of heavy metals in them because a lot of protein powders typically have a lot of heavy metals in them, and this one has tested 0.0001% free of heavy metals, okay? It is also, okay, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners. This is natural berries and coconuts in a glass, okay? And so look how thick and rich it is. Thick and rich, your own protein shake at home. And let's not pretend that protein shakes and drinks aren't super expensive, okay? And I love that Teamy Blends is not only cost effective, but you get a coupon code simply being a wino, okay? And so here we are, nice and thick, okay? I need me a little napkin. I'm gonna drink this bad boy. Ooh, it smells really good too. It smells like the strawberries, the blueberries, and the raspberries in here. Hold on. Amazing. Amazing, okay? And so listen, this is how I keep my protein up. This is how bodybuilders keep their protein up. Eat saturated fats anymore. We don't have to eat trans fats. We don't have to let that fat build as visceral fat around our waist, okay? And as you can see, my waist has came down at least 10 inches, okay? Since I've been vegan and plant-based and using Teamy Blends wellness products as well, okay? And so you don't have to eat meat. You don't have to eat flesh to get your protein. This right here is all you need, so don't forget, okay? As we're signing off, use the coupon code UNWINE to get 20% off your richly antioxidant boost, coconut oil based, protein rich drink. 17 grams of protein per glass, okay? Need I say more? I'm out.
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I've had men that say that, hey, I only watched initially because she was fine or she was sexy or she looked good. But then they say that they stayed for the message. So I think it's a little bit of both. Then you have men also that say, I'm just watching because she looks good. So it's a combination. I'm
How
not
does
gonna
your
lie.
husband feel about this?
My husband, he's very supportive, and I'm so glad. I'm so lucky
Okay.
that he is not the jealous type of guy, and he's never been the controlling type. I will say this though. He would like for me to, you know what I mean? And I scaled it back a lot
What
because
do you
he's
mean scale what back? What scale what back?
like, for instance, he doesn't like when I wear like shorts and stuff. So I compromise with that. I started wearing shorts or when I went online.
Okay.
And it's just, he would like for me to, again, scale it back a little bit, which I did. Now, Tasha, I'm still maturing, all right? And so I'm learning to just cover up even more as I go. But sometimes, you want to be a little free, you know what I mean? But, but to answer your question, how does my husband feel? I feel like he's very supportive of it. He lets me do and make my own decisions, and that's what I really respect about him.
He got some competition out here, so I mean, hey, look, he's
What
like,
you mean?
listen. I mean, I feel like the ball is in your court. You know what I'm saying? Mine too. Like, you want to get out here acting up? My DMs are full. Now, are they gonna measure up to you? I mean, that's rare. To find a man that's like your perfect mate and understands you. So
Yeah, like
yeah,
my husband also knows, like he has me on lock.
okay,
So it's not like I'm going anywhere. It's like very going nowhere. Like in my
now, see,
mind,
I learned from my big mamas and stuff. My auntie, my grandma, them, they said don't never tell no man they got you, because then when they got you, you know what happens. They feel like they can do any motherfucking thing because they got you. But if you keep them on just a little bit. See, I couldn't have no channel like yours. They wouldn't fucking like me because I'll be like, listen, we going tit for tat. You want to cheat? Bitch, watch me fuck all your friends. Yes.
whoa, that went left really quick.
I'm just saying. Look, you want to cheat? I can cheat. See, men think they the only ones that can cheat. They think they the only ones that can go out here and fuck up. Bitch, I can do the same shit, okay? And it'll hurt you worse than how it hurt me, because, we get over shit a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? We can go to sleep, take us a couple days. We're going to be back into the routine, But for a man, it hits the pride. So I just had to put that out there. So you are very well... but I was just told, don't never tell a man that he got you, though. Don't do that.
But see, I feel like I'm dealing with a different breed of man. Like he's not the average typical guy.
And that's
really
good.
do. Like, yeah, I feel like I really did luck up with my husband. Like he's not the average guy. Like he really does. I feel like he appreciates me, and he honors me. He loves me. He respects me. And so I really do feel,
because me and my husband, it be going down in the paint up in here. I'm like, oh, you can go to the strip club? Watch me go.
What?
How long you been married?
I've been married since 2017. We've been together since 2012.
Okay, so I've been married 16 years. So
that's a long time.
Yeah, right. So I'm just like, and we play a lot, we joke a lot, but it's just like, I don't care. Go to the strip club, do what you want to do, be a man. I'm not the petty type. Like I'm not the insecure type. If my husband going to a strip club, there's nothing like it. When I say it, I don't even think about it, because a lot of women will feel insecure about that. Oh my God, he's like, you look at other men, you just don't tell him. So, and I see, like, in your commentary, like you put it out there like that. Like, don't. What is the conversation about you and the video is like, she regrets leaving you when the grass is not greener on the other side. Mm-hmm. That right there. That video, I said, oh, okay. Because it's true. It's true. A lot of women will try to level up, or thinking that they're leveling up, only to figure out, well, shit, I should have stayed and dealt with and figured the situation out, especially if he ain't cheating, especially if he going to work. He may not be as flashy as the other one. You know what I'm saying? But I just, what was your vision behind that video that went viral?
Well, I get a lot of emails and inboxes and stuff. I have a lot of my subscribers email me some of their questions and things that they may be going through. And I believe I got an email that inspired that conversation. And it really does happen a lot. You know, a lot of women today, we do start to, second guess our relationships because of the new world that we live in, to where you're constantly comparing your relationship to people online. And, you start to feel a certain type of way about your own relationship. Like, well, dang, well, she's able to do X, Y, and Z. Why aren't I doing this? Why isn't my man doing this? And we're constantly comparing each other or comparing ourselves to other people in their lives and their relationships, their marriages, and so on and so forth, to where we can start feeling like my marriage is not measuring up. And so they see their friends out here going on trips with their man. Who knows what happened in order for them to actually be able to do that? Or on the
most women plan vacations anyway, so I don't. It's not like men are out here planning vacations.
Right.
I just had to throw that.
But on top of that, let's go to the thought culture though, real quick, Tasha. You see all of your thought cake friends out here being cash app coochie queens, and you're like, oh well, dang, maybe I should be doing that too. They're living the hot girl summer life, and you may be bored in your relationship, and so you go out there trying to be a thought cake, trying to be like your friends and have a hot girl summer, and you end up leaving behind something that was a good thing because you felt like it was better over there, and it's usually not. You should just stay where you are, have that man to love you, take care of you, have that, comfort. And a lot of us, we confuse. I'm not going to say we confuse. I will say this. We start to become bored when things become predictable or routine, or we feel safe and secure. And we have to really get out of that mentality of feeling that way. It's okay that you guys don't do a whole bunch of different things. Sometimes that's better than being out in the streets, or you know what I mean, just dealing with a whole bunch of different people and energies and getting involved in things that in the long run don't mean anything in the end. So a lot of us do that in our relationships. We do feel like, oh, I can go over there and it's more fun over there, and then it backfires, and then you want to go back to where you were. And Tasha, I've seen situations where women have done that, and their man moves on. It was like, okay, well, you want to do what you wanted to do. You thought it was better over there. I moved on. And so you can't go back. And sometimes we don't get those second chances. So a lot of us just need to appreciate what we have instead of always thinking that it's going to be better on the other side. Sometimes it's not. A lot of times it's not.
Now, in one of your videos, you ruffled some feathers when you said that men should leave and it's grounds for divorce if, quote, women withhold sex in relationships. Do you believe that? You still did you really mean that?
Was that the video with my sis, Six the Goddess?
Yes.
She came up with that.
Oh.
All right. However, I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
When a man signs up to marry you, okay, that means that you're supposed to be devoted to him. He married you for a reason. He married you because you were given great sex. He married you because you were a great support system. He married you because you look good. He married you because you cook good. Whatever reasons that man got with you and put a ring on it, you have to continue to maintain and sustain that. You just can't say, oh, well, I got the man now, and then fall off. And a lot of men, Tasha, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of us become really comfortable in our marriages and our relationship once we start to feel like I got him. Now, earlier you talked about your grandmother, and she said, don't ever tell a man you got him. Well, when we feel like we have a man, we can start to slack off too. Like, oh well, I got you now. I don't need to get no head no more. I don't need to cook nothing no more. I got you. And so I feel like that is something that should be upheld. Like, you need to uphold your end of the bargain. I do feel like if a woman does start to slack off and she's no longer providing you with the same perks and luxuries and benefits that you signed up for in the beginning, maybe you should be able to leave her.
What
Because
about
Tasha, let me tell you,
what about premenopausal and menopause? Because like I have friends that are going into their 40s. Of course, they don't have the best of diets and don't take care. I believe you can kind of ward off menopause for a long time because, like I said, my grandma was getting pregnant in her 60s. Okay, she had no problem.
okay, okay, and
Just
it's team vegan around here.
eat your collard greens and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Exercise. But what about those who are premenopausal and menopausal? And you know when the testosterone drops significantly in a woman and her estrogen rises, you know she cannot perform. There's no desire to have sex. Do you feel that after putting in 20 years of marriage, a man has the right to divorce because their woman is going through a chemical hormonal imbalance and it's severe?
Do you have a mouth, Tasha? I'm
You got
sorry.
a
That
mouth,
okay.
but it ain't any man will tell you the mouth don't make up for the pussy now. They'll tell you
Look,
that.
when it's Tasha, when it's a will, it's a way. Like you said, you better go get you some collard greens. Look, get your smoothies together. Put you some maca powder. It's a will, it's a way. All right.
Okay.
So
you
we don't.
don't believe in like under no circumstances a woman should ever
Now,
be able
I
to
mean,
tell.
if you're on your deathbed or something like that, but anything else, like, come on, sis.
What
You
about your
gotta go.
period? Now you do take a break on your period, do you?
I got them out, Tasha.
Oh my god. She says this. No, listen, my husband gonna divorce me now. He's like, bitch, see that's what I'm talking about. He gonna be like, that's the spirit. Look,
See, Tasha,
I take my
talking-
rest. God gave me a period for a reason, for a period to abstain from sex as a moment of meditation because I'm not the nicest during my period. You understand?
But Tasha, with me, I feel like I get more aroused when I'm on my period because it's like, damn.
I do too, but I'm selfish. If I can't get anything out of it, I'm not gonna do it. Because I'm gonna be wanting to come too, and I can't because I'm on my period. You just walk away happy, and I'm like, yo, what about me?
Tasha, guess what? You got something that you can plug it up with and then tickle a little something. You can plug it up and tickle.
Look at that. See, that's why they be dragging you online. That's why the women be coming after your
But it's a will, it's a way. Okay.
Is there anything that you agree with when it comes to women in our ways in relationships? Is there anything?
I'm just saying, like, okay, if you're on and you getting a little bit of you can plug it in, and do a little tickle. And then you got yours too. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're being deprived. Like I said, if you need an issue off, you can resolve that issue, sweetheart. So, but then again, Tasha, you talking to the number one pick me. You know, they call me a pick me, a mammy, whatever. You know, that's my name as well. So
I don't believe that. I just believe, like, were you raised around a lot of men?
My father raised me. Okay. And I have an older brother.
Okay. See, I was raised around a lot of men as well. All my cousins, I have two fathers. People don't believe it. I'm literally two. I have a stepfather and my real father, and they both coexist together and have made me into the woman that I am today. And of course, you know, my mom, my aunts, they put me up on a lot of game when it comes to men. You know what I'm saying? Really? And so every woman in my family has been married. And I do believe that marriage is a culture because if you come from a long line of family, like a long line of family members who aren't married, typically you're not going to go in that direction. Your mom, you know, was a baby mom. She's not married. So you typically follow in that direction. And so all the women that I saw around me sustained family for a very long time.
Really?
And yeah.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? Okay.
No.
But you had a father to kind of coach you on what, like, did he coach you on, like, I guess, how to conduct yourself with men? Because, you know, your first relationship is with your father. Like, whether women want to...
I don't know if he necessarily coached me. I just felt like we had an interaction to where I was able to bond with him. Like, he would always ask me about my thoughts or, you know, what was I thinking? What was I feeling? Like, he was always interacting with me to where it was allowing me to be myself. And through those interactions or those exchanges, he was able to maybe bounce ideas off of me. And I feel like that's what got me into being able to just express myself so freely and just learn from other people. Like, he never told me, oh, you need to think like this, or you need to look out for this, or he just kind of like, we was like homies. Like, with my daddy, we had a really like homie type of relationship growing up. And so
you
I
feel
was just
like he? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you feel like he was like your standard of what your husband should be? Was your dad?
at the time, yes.
Okay. Okay.
But as I got older, I started to see certain things about my father that I was like, I don't feel like that's something that uh, a man should be or a man should do, And I'll just leave it at that. But I just felt like it was certain things about my father to where it was not very masculine of him to behave in particular manners or, conduct himself in particular ways.
Okay.
But in growing up, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I was gonna say, like, hanging around my cousins, my brothers, my dads, and stuff like that, and my uncles. Oh my God, my uncles were the best lesson. Because I'm telling you, they would walk a woman in. I kid you not, like the first time I took my husband home, I was terrified because I knew he was gonna meet my uncles, and I was like, oh my God. And my uncles were so transparent about who they were. It was kind of like, I never wanted to bring anybody home unless they first were the one, and two, they were well prepared for these. These were some backwoods niggas, okay? They didn't introduce their women as wives or girlfriends. This my bitch. Say, hey, Betty. Hey, sit your ass down. And if they even dared look at another woman, they would get slapped the fuck up in the room, and then nobody say shit because it was like Betty understood her role.
What?
Let me tell you, like, and my husband was like, "What the?" Like, I'm telling you, my Uncle Eyes, rest his soul, walked in, was like, "Oh, this your new nigga, Tasha," and I'm like, "This my husband. Calm down." Oh, okay. Found out he was from Africa. Oh, yeah, I saw you on the Discovery Channel. You was chasing that line for 4 motherfucking days. It was you. But anyway, Betty come in. Look, Betty come in. This my new bitch. Betty say hey to these niggas. And I swear to God, I better not catch you in a nigga face. I'll fuck your ass up. And all serious, I done seen they hoes get slapped down. I done seen these bitches get put out. I done seen them fuck their friends. You understand what I'm saying? And so, like, my behavior, I'm going to be honest with you, my husband was the only person that could tame me. That's why I said, you cheat on me, bitch, I will fuck all your friends. Don't fuck with me. Like, I learned what I learned from men. And it was a lot of fucked up shit. Like, so for me, my dad had my mom and my stepmom pregnant at the same goddamn time with me and my brother.
You lying.
You see? Yes. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
See, my daddy growing up, he was a gentleman in front of me, and I could respect it. He was the type of father that was he would read me bedtime stories and stuff, teach me how to tie my shoe. Like, that was my daddy growing up. And so I don't know. Now, I did have uncles that was like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, but no, my daddy wasn't like that. And he didn't expose me to that type of behavior. And I can appreciate that.
That's good. See, for mine was
dang,
but I already knew. I think I knew by being around my dads and my uncles and stuff how to automatically submit without consciously doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Right, it was just, and then seeing the women in my family all married, and it was the side bitches that went through this, you know what I'm saying? That kind of automatically put me in wife role. So when I hear women don't know how to get married, I'm just like, I had to step away because sometimes I'll be a little judgmental, like, what's wrong with you? But then when I thought about it, I'm like, a lot of times you're trained to be married. You're trained to submit. And that's why I was asking, were you trained by your father to submit?
I mean, maybe subconsciously. I was.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's no different.
It was nothing like directly, like you need to submit to a man and you listen to a man. It was none of that. It was more so just like the interaction. And so you just naturally do it, I guess. So maybe subconsciously it did kind of train me.
Yeah. I mean, I know Coming to America is a bad example, but like, sometimes when we put it in movies like that, we see it, but they do raise, like I was raised from a little girl, like, you can either be a hoe or you can be a wife. Like,
But Tasha, why come I can't be both
see,
with my husband?
but when he
With
fuck
my
up,
husband though.
you
With my
have,
husband.
you can be a hoe. No, I'm both. I'm both with my husband. That's what he
Okay,
got.
there you go.
No, I'm both with my husband, but I guess
I
the
get what
notion of if you 30 and you ain't married, what's wrong with you? And if a man is past 40, ain't married, that nigga don't like you. If you feel me, he don't like you. He likes something else.
Ooh.
You understand? Like that's how old school training that was. Like if you ain't pregnant by the man, he ain't marrying you. He shooting. What's wrong? He shooting blanks, or is he shooting in something else that can't make babies?
Ooh.
You understand?
Damn,
I know this conversation just went for a turn, but it's like I
love
get a chance to really
get
this shit out.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
but that's speaking from an old school point of view. We live in a new day and age now.
I wouldn't even know how to date.
A lot of people are turned off from marriage. So can you still have those same lines of questions? Like, why aren't you married? Well, a lot of men don't believe in marriage.
If I were to divorce my husband, I would not probably get remarried. Not that I had a bad marriage experience, because my marriage with my husband has been absolutely wonderful. But for me to be at a later stage in life and have to submit again to a man and learn his ways and him learn me, I don't think I would have that kind of time or patience. And so I think it's imperative that women get married young, because when you get older, it's a lot harder to adjust to somebody. That's how I feel, because with and I don't understand the notion, because I thought we were living, and that's why I have you here. I thought we were in a world, because all I hear is I want to be married, I want to be married, I want to be married. But then when you say women don't want to get married, it's
no,
like
men. They say men don't want to get married.
Men don't want to get married. Yeah, I mean, but men have to have a purpose to get married. And I've always known that. I've always known that. Men are not just going to marry you because they love you. Men have to have a purpose to be married. And if you look culturally at how Africans or any other culture outside of the United States formulates marriage, it's a purpose. A lot of times in India, they don't even see their wives or know their wives until the wedding day. You understand? Like, because their families have specifically chosen these two to procreate together for the benefit of the family, for the benefit of their children, and for the benefit of the future of their kids. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's done like that in Africa. Like my husband, kid you not, like him going outside of the cultural boundaries to marry someone who's American, they tried to stop it. Like they was like, no.
Wow.
No, she's American, she has no values. They already had a wife chosen, and he had known that wife since he was 12.
Wow.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So like that, a lot of people don't talk about this, but it's true. Like, and the reason they chose that particular wife is because of their tribe deals a lot in e-commerce. So they choose a wife that you can definitely build a business with e-commerce wise. Not knowing that I was already in e-commerce and that was my way. But he fell in love with me outside of them trying to make him marry someone that he did not love. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So he chose his happiness over his happiness and his future. And he'll tell you, you were very submissive, and it was, you know what I'm saying? And I knew that if anything happened to me, our kids would be fine. And a lot of times these women want to be housewives, in my opinion, and they don't want to help the man contribute to the household, and if something happens to him, everything's on him, and she can't pick up and manage where he left off. And that's a problem, because I see it on Kevin Samuel's channel. Oh, I want to be a housewife, I want him to make 6 or 7 figures. And it's like, well, what do? Do you know how to manage 6 or 7 figures? Because you don't make 6 or 7 figures, nor have you. So how do you know to manage that?
Okay, now Tasha, you sounding like a pick me right now.
No, I'm not a pick. Well, I'm already picked.
That's what I want to say. Okay, like I'm already pick me. But
No,
hey,
but I'm just saying business wise, like say for
I
instance
feel you.
you're a businesswoman, right?
Absolutely.
You writing books. Would you want to get with a man who don't understand business?
No, my husband he got degrees for that. My
Yeah.
husband, my book is written under his publishing company. Like, no, I need a man that can do that. I
Right.
need a man that we can collaborate effectively as a team. I absolutely agree with you. I'm just
See?
picking on you. I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know what they're gonna say about you. So you be ready.
I am a entertainment news reporter, okay, and you're very entertaining, and that's why we have you here on the show. And so I hope to have you back more in the future to
Absolutely.
comment on a lot of the climate, the relationship climate that's out there, because a lot of times,
Absolutely.
yeah, it is a male dominated space, and to have
It
a
is.
woman's perspective to be able to challenge a lot of these ideologies that these men are coming up with that are not practical, I feel that's where you fit in and where you drive. It's just about getting women to understand the point in which you're coming from. That's if you want to be married. That's if you want to sustain a relationship. But if you want to be a career woman and not be married, then I don't think this conversation is for that particular woman, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, Tasha, what do you say to the women? Because I have a lot of women that come to me and they're like, well, I am everything that you're saying that I should be. I am the submissive type. I am this type of woman. I'm a supportive woman. I'm loving. I'm all of this. It's just the men they don't act right. They don't want it. They still will take advantage of that. They'll take that for granted. They don't respect it. So I have a lot of women complain that they are the epitome of what a real woman is, what a queen is, what a wife is, and men just don't act right. What do you say to those women?
What do you say to him? Because I don't know what to say to him. I mean,
I
I would have to do a full in-depth analysis, but what do you say to him?
well, what I say to them
Yeah.
is a lot of us, we are doing all of the right things for the
Okay.
wrong men. Like a lot of us are trying to be the wife, the support, the submissive woman for an undeserving type of guy. And a lot of us are trying to essentially build a man and make him be a man instead of just being that already submissive, nurturing, caring woman for an already providing, supporting type of guy. We try to make a man be a man. And I feel like a lot of us do that because we do want our ego stroked. We want to be able to say, well, I'm the inspiration behind him changing. I'm the one that changed him to make him stop cheating and be, the husband. And it always backfires. So
Oh, I never thought of that.
I tell those women, like, what are the qualities? What is the quality of the men that you are doing all of those great things for? Because like I said, a lot of us do all the right things for the wrong men. And then it backfires, and then we look stupid later and we complain and say, that's why you should never build with the man. That's why I want a man that already has 6 figures, 7 figures, because I've already tried the other route. And it's like, no, sis, you tried the other route, but you did it with a man that was not ambitious. He was not a go-getter. He didn't have the right morals and values. He wasn't on his purpose. So it's nothing wrong with getting with a man that I feel is in the beginning stages. But he has to possess certain qualities, a certain mindset, certain characteristics that are absolutely leading him in a direction that he will be successful. But a lot of us, we get with men that are not on the right trajectory, and then we get upset and be like, oh, well, I don't know what happened. That's why I'll never do that again. I don't understand because I was that type of woman and it didn't work. Well, once again, what type of man were you doing that for? And I come to realize that a lot of them are doing a lot of the right things for the wrong guys.
I need my hat. Girl, you spoke a lot there. You know
Okay.
how you go to church and the pastors be spree? You be like, yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Like for real. No,
right.
one of my producers, Sade, is listening right now, and it was so funny because she was telling me, she was like, listen, if the man ain't shit, if he ain't got nothing going on, if he a deadbeat, that for some reason, and I like him, that's the type of man I know he is because I like him. Like, and it's not that she's intentionally going after deadbeats. It's like, this is what I attract. You know what I'm saying? She's a hardworking, very smart individual, independent woman. Although she, she'll be straight up and tell you, I don't know why I like deadbeats, but it seems to be what I attract. And if I'm with them, you best believe he ain't shit. She laughing in the background now because she, like, for her to be that honest with herself, a lot of women, I don't think they honest with themselves like that.
No, they're not. But see, a lot of women like that though. In addition to what I just said, a lot of us have our own internal voids that we're trying to fill. And instead of working on ourselves, we need to work on somebody else in order to make us feel,
you like hear that, Sade? I'm talking to her in the bed, like, you hear that?
I feel like that's what happens a lot of times. Instead of going within, we go without, because I think subconsciously we would want somebody to maybe help us or mold us or build with us or whatever, fix us. A lot of the times we're running from fixing ourselves. And so we'll always find ourselves dealing with situations, whether it be friendships or romantic wise, to where we're the ones that are the fixer-uppers. Because internally it's something off or damaged within us. And a lot of us are running from that. And so we go to other people, I guess, because it's something that we can physically see and do. And it makes us feel some kind of completion within, but it never gets fulfilled because it's something within you. And so that's why you'll find yourself having that pattern of going from this man to that man. And they're all, pretty much damaged. They're all projects because something within you wants to be fixed or healed. I really do feel like that's why a lot of us do that.
Ooh. Well, I mean, you said a mouthful there. I mean, we can take hours just breaking down each component of what you said, and it was just like, oh, that's why I gotta have you back on the show. Like, and we're gonna take.
I'm gonna come back.
No, because I want to generalize what we were doing today, but I mean specific topics, girl. I gotta bring you in for the breakdown because, girl, no, but to answer your question, I feel because I hang around a lot of I wouldn't even say successful women. I mean, a lot of the women that I hang around are successful, but the single ones are not as successful as they should be personally, right? But they are beautiful. When I say that they are beautiful women, I'm talking about you won't catch them nowhere looking any type of way. I'm talking about nails done, hair, eyelashes, skincare, thousands of dollars on skincare routine, just everything. Wow. Me, and I'm like, sometimes I just wash my face with Dove. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? But and they do everything. They look the best when they walk into the room, and then when I get a call from them, and I typically don't try to hang with a lot of single women because our interests are definitely not the same. And I'm all about family, and I feel like they don't understand family because my thing is like, if I was single, I wouldn't be broke. There's no way I could be broke and I'm single, because when you're married and you have children, like that, I feel like me providing for 2 kids, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of gives me, I don't know, maybe it's a different drive, but there's just no way. I'm like, damn, imagine if I ain't had no kids. Like I would be balling right now. You understand what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't need a man. I mean, I would want a man, but I wouldn't need one financially. I'll be able to match his hustle. You feel me? And so, I feel like, when I get a call, like an example, I just got a call a couple weeks ago and it was like, hey, I like this guy. And I'm like, well, who's the guy? And then, that person told me about the guy and I was like, but he got 5 kids. Like, you have no kids. You're trying to build your career. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? Obviously 5 different women that have 5 different children by him have already laid out the blueprint to who this nigga is. You understand what I'm saying? They've done the work. So who he is not a question, because I mean, a man having 5 kids all over the place with different women, that to me, that's like, whoa. So you really don't care who you procreate with. For me, now a lot of men will.
You're not going to commit like that. So that would be a red flag for me if you are marriage minded.
Right. And then, so my thing is, and I'm like, but you're so beautiful. Like, why would you want to stoop down to be a stepmom to 5 different baby mamas? You know the type of energy that brings, and then you're going to have to volunteer, pick this kid up, meet this baby mama here. You know what that energy does to your growth? You know what I'm saying? To your spirit, I feel like I'm going to be honest with you. I've never dated a guy with kids. Like I had standards. If I didn't have kids, I don't want your baggage. And it's not, and just like how men look at women with kids as baggage,
Exactly.
I looked at a man with multiple kids as baggage. Like,
me too. I mean, just the same way as I would tell a man, I'm going to be honest, I would tell a man that was starting off, if you are starting off, you're on the right path, you're trying to grind, get, ahead in life. I would tell him, don't deal with a woman that had children. And on the flip side, I would tell a woman that's starting off that doesn't have any children and progressing forward in life, don't get with a man that has kids. Like I would say the same thing for anybody, because I had a stepmother and she was great. I mean, this woman was phenomenal. And she did everything. She had no children of her own. She got with my father when she was 22, and they got married, but then they got divorced maybe 10 years into it. Never had any children. And I mean, this woman, she did more for me and my brother growing up than both my parents put together. I'm going to be honest. Like, she was present. She was the one helping us with homework and buying us things, making Christmas just immaculate. Like, that was her.
Oh.
And ended up my dad, I mean, he was out here being, one of them type, and ended up messing her over, and she divorced him, and she has nothing to show for anything. And she put in all of this time, all this money, all this effort into children that were not hers, and to a man that ended up, kind of like betraying her and all these different things. And she has absolutely nothing to show for it. And so I would absolutely tell anybody, man or woman, don't get with anybody if you don't have any children and you're successful and you're trying to build and establish yourself. Don't get with anybody with children. It's just going to tax on more on your plate and kind of slow you down. I mean, really looking back, I really feel bad for her. And she was a great woman. Nothing to show for.
Do you still call her to this day?
I think that she got so scarred that she just didn't want anything to do with anybody.
Oh, it was like hard for her to be around.
I've reached out to her. I've reached out to her before, and she just kind of left me on red. I feel like it was just too much for her. And so she was just like, you know what? I don't even want anything that's going to remind me of all the years and all the time that I wasted. And I don't blame her. I really don't. I don't blame her.
No, and I don't want the viewers to think that I'm saying that a woman with kids doesn't deserve a man. There's a woman with kids and there's a man with children.
It's levels.
There's a man with children, and y'all can come together and help each other. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you're single out here, like, my stepdad was great. My mom only had me, and then she had 2 other children with my stepfather. And my stepfather always looked at me as, if he tell anybody to this day, he got 4 kids. He's never missed a wedding. He's never missed my wedding, any births to my kids. Like, this is a dad. You understand? Even though they're not together, he is still not did away with his role as my father. You understand what I'm saying? So, even though my biological father wasn't as present when I was coming up, he's present now. But it's like I have 2 fathers now, and it's like amazing. And I'm glad that I didn't have both of them coming up, because I would have felt very convicted as a child as to which one I showed loyalty to. But now I'm like, they know about each other. They smoke weed together. It's all good. But listen, no, but I just wanted to clear that up. Like, there's nothing wrong with having children. There's nothing wrong with a man having children. But I feel like a woman with kids would better understand what a man with children is going through and would get something more out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love that show, The Brady Bunch. We were
equal. We were equally yoked. You came with this, I came with the same thing. We came together, boom.
Right. Because I mean, I wouldn't expect a man to understand, like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be available for you all the time because I have schedules with my kids. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I may not be always available sex-wise because I got a child that's up with a fever. And single people, I feel like, don't get that because they don't understand it. So that's how I personally feel. I don't feel like women should be attacked for having children, but I just feel like you need a man that understands where you are, and he understands that you're not out here dating, you're not out here trying to be in the streets, because he has kids too that he has to be there for full time. So,
and I've had that conversation as well, and I had a lot of older women and men tell me, like, well, I'm older in life and I can't have children. So I would prefer somebody to have children. So it's always going to be levels and layers. That's why I said that I wouldn't encourage any young person that's starting off, in life, trying to progress forward, because it really can slow you down and add on a lot extra or a lot more to your plate than you need.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always going to be levels and layers and exceptions to the rules. And so it just really depends. Do what's best for you. But in my personal opinion, would I encourage somebody that didn't have any children to get with somebody that did have children, and you're well on your way and you're trying to establish yourself? I really wouldn't, because I really do feel like that would probably get in your way. I mean, think about all the accommodations that you'll have to,
Oh my
you know what I mean?
goodness. I don't even want to do it for my own kids. Shit.
Right. I gotta get when I get a house, the rooms have to be X amount. The bathrooms have to be that's a lot to accommodate for.
Accommodate. I mean, I was mad today. My daughter was like, she got out of school. She's like, I need to go to the hair shop now. And I'm like, well, I can't, because your brother is asleep, so you're gonna have to wait. She had an attitude, slammed the door. Okay, so then I take her to the hair shop. I gotta pick her up. I can't pick her up because I'm working, so I got my friend picking her up. She gets an attitude about that. Why you can't come pick me up? I work to pay for your damn hair. Do you understand what I'm saying? And imagine that being a child that you didn't birth, telling you that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would be like, listen, little girl, because you're not my girl. You're not my little girl. So now you're a published author. Tell me about like the books that you've written, because I want people to be able to like click below and go and really support you. And if they want a message, a real message, you, of course, given this 45-minute encounter, definitely you have some real shit that you're spitting, and I support you 100%. One, because you're a sister. Two, because you are, educated and doing your thing, and you're in a space and you're not scared to be in that space.
I am not.
You infiltrated these men to say, hold up, wait a minute.
But I didn't try to, Tasha. That's the thing. I didn't even try to. Like, they came to me and then they started attacking me for being there. I'm like, they just showed up. I can't help who gravitates.
Right. Tell us about some of your books, or one that you personally want to tell the viewers about.
Well, I do have a book that was inspired by, I call them my crown heads. That's what I call my subscribers, my supporters.
Okay.
And they were telling me like, hey, Danica, you need to write a book about submission. And so I said, okay, I could do that. And so I wrote a book called Submission is Not the Enemy. It is a key factor to a healthy relationship. And the book, it just goes into all of the issues surrounding submission, and I'm just kind of like debunking some of those things, and going into detail as to why it's not as bad, and how we can actually use submission into our marriages and in our relationships to bring balance. It helps with getting out or fixing toxic relationships. It gives clarity on the types of men even that should be submitted to, because I talked about that earlier. A lot of men are always saying, I need a woman that's going to submit to me and take care of me and give me good sex when I want to. And it's like, dude, you don't have a roof over your head. You don't have you know what I mean? Like, you don't have.
We're going to submit at his mama house. Listen, okay. I'm going to submit at your mama house.
Yeah, you got to give a woman something to submit to. And so that book kind of goes into details about submission on both sides, what it looks like from both men and women. So I tried to be as fair and balanced as I possibly could in the book. That way, women didn't feel like they were being attacked, or men didn't feel like they were being attacked, or you know what I mean? So I really did try to establish all grounds. It's a quick and easy read. It's only like 70 something pages. You can read the whole book in an hour.
Okay.
And so you got a lot of great reviews on Amazon. It was a bestseller for a few weeks, and so I was very grateful for that.
Congratulations. So, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it really was. I was very proud. And so yeah, it's a quick and easy read. Submission is not the enemy, a key factor to a healthy relationship. So very good read for both men and women.
Okay. Now I hate that this conversation is ending, but I don't want to keep you too long, because we can be here all day. And like I said, I'm gonna have you back a lot on my show to really touch on these spaces, because like my talk is kind of outdated. I mean, I have a few key points when it comes to relationships, but for the most part, like, you're in it, you're seeing this every day. This is your realm, and I don't want to infringe on nothing that you're doing. So why not bring in the expert and all of this? Yeah.
I'm back. We're coming back. We're going to come back and we're going to dominate. We're going to get some insight and some clarity, and we're going to help us all out.
Okay. Tell the viewers where they
can. I might have my Proud Pick Me shirt.
It's okay. Send me one too. I'll wear one.
I'll send you one too.
I was picked. So, I mean, hey.
All right, man.
Yeah. Where can the viewers find you?
You can find me over on YouTube, Danica Marie Dope Discussions. I'm also over on Instagram at Danica91.
Okay.
Dnieka 91. I'm also on Facebook, but not really. Facebook been hating lately.
Oh
I
yeah.
got over 100 and something thousand followers over on Facebook, and I think I'm shadow banned. So I'm really not active over there. So I'm
Yeah.
really over on Instagram
I'm
and
not a
YouTube.
big fan of Facebook either. I rarely
Yeah.
post over there. I mean, and they're not paying
I'll post my
content
YouTube
creators.
links when I go.
Yeah, they're not paying content creators what they're worth. So shout out to
No.
YouTube for really changing lives up in this bitch.
Yeah. I love
Um,
YouTube. Shout out to
yes,
YouTube.
yes. And so I just didn't want to mess up your links, but you can, Danica Marie, thank you so much. Just for being so honest in a hard to be honest space, okay? And I really believe this. The reason I really agree for you to be on the show. Nicole Hutchins, who's one of our show producers, is a huge fan, and so she kind of put me on game to what you're doing.
Yeah, shout out to
And
her. Shout out to Nicole.
yes, and I feel that anybody, if anybody's going to be giving women advice on men, it should be women,
You
because
think so?
there are a lot of men coming from very biased perspectives, because a lot of times they feel like that I am the prize and they're selfish, but you're not coming from a selfish space, because you're clearly educating women on how to be open, how to be submissive, how to understand. And it's not just to be chosen, but it's relationships in all aspects. Because to be honest, like, women think, okay, I want a job and I want to get a promotion, right? How do you get a promotion? You submit to your boss.
Oh.
You do. You have to play as if like he is the greatest, even though he ain't about shit, or he may be wrong. You still play like he's right, because at the end of the day, it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's about allowing people to walk and make mistakes. And I think that's what a lot of men complain about, is like, she always bitch, she'll never let me make mistakes. I mean, I bitch at my husband for not using the GPS. I'm like, why are we lost? And there's a GPS, but his whole thing, I'm like, I'm just sitting there, I'm pissed the fuck off. Like, God damn it, I just want to, but it ain't about that for him. He just want to feel like I did this and I ain't need no GPS. You know what I'm saying? It's a personal thing for him, and who am I to infringe and tell him, no, don't do what makes you feel comfortable. And so I feel like if anybody is going to be in this space, they should be embracing you, because you're telling them that from experience. You understand what I'm saying? You're not telling them to be prepared to be an abused wife or be an abused partner, but to be.
I'm not talking about a dictatorship.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, yeah. Like, come on. Submission does not mean slave.
They feel that it really does, and it's like, it's not that. I submit wholeheartedly to my husband, to my king, and I do it willingly, because one, I've trusted him. I married him to lead me, and I've married him for him to be able to take care of me when I can't take care of myself, and vice versa. You know, he knows ain't shit gonna stop over here if you down for the count. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it going until you get back. You feel me? So like, and it's about having each other's back. And a lot of women, I feel these days, are just so selfish, or just so, and I have a lot of friends that are selfish. I'm just like, that's just not how it works in relationships. And I can see why no one has been willing to take that step with you, because you're selfish.
Oh.
So I support everything that you're doing.
I appreciate it.
Me a pick me, bitch, pick me.
You will pick me, bitch, okay? As long as you know.
Thank you, Danica Marie.
Thank you for having me.
I support you, sister. Please, winos, support Danica by following her. The links to her YouTube channel as well as Instagram are below. And please buy her book. Show her some love, especially if you're having issues in your relationship. She obviously knows how to be married and stay married. So what better way to get advice from people who are doing it versus, men who are out here in these spaces that are not married trying to tell you how to get married and they have no intentions of being married. So that was just a little shade. But no, thank you. Anything else you want to say before we end this encounter?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me. And again, shout out to Nicole for linking this and putting this together. I thought this is very important and beneficial for both men and women. So that, again, we can bridge the gap. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about being balanced. And so as long as we can have these balanced conversations to where we're not attacking men or we're not attacking women, but we're just rather holding everybody accountable, I really do feel like this will just be something that is very much so purposeful and just beneficial for all of us. So again, thank you so much, Tasha, for creating this space. And you already know we're gonna come back and we're gonna be in here clowning.
Yes, I gotta have you in studio next time. I don't know where you are, but I gotta have you in studio. We're in Atlanta.
I am in St. Louis.
Okay, yeah, that's an easy flight. So I'll make sure next time you are slated to come down that we take care of your flight and your hotel stay so that you can be in studio.
All right now.
All right. Look at
fly me out then.
Yes.
Fly me out then. Yes. Okay. I'm getting flued out. Okay.
Flued out. So.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Danica. And now we gotta go. Okay. Bye.